It's so important to understand men at a deeper level. That way you can actually get what you want from him, which is connection. And if you don't understand men, you're going to do things that disconnect you from what you truly want, which is to be close and intimate with him. Not knowing these truths about men, we unconsciously push men away. We're doing it because we have not healed from past wounds. And so we're functioning from our ego, and we are in our masculine frame when we're relating with men, but it's coming from this deep-seated need to connect. In this video, I want to go over 7 harsh truths about men that will save you years of heartbreak, and it will help you from repeating the same patterns with men. We can never change another person. All we can do is look within ourselves to see how we can improve. In my self-study course, there is so much information there about masculine and feminine energy and the wounds and the patterns that keep showing up in your life and where they're coming from. So you can definitely explore that. All the links will be below. Please take a second to subscribe, like, and share the video. That also helps me to release more videos and helps the algorithm to push the content out as well. Truth number 1, men fall in love with the way that they feel around you, not your potential, not how beautiful you are, although all those things matter. If a man is not feeling good around you, it doesn't matter if you're a supermodel, you're the most educated person on the planet, you have everything going for you. It's his feeling of when he's with you that is the most important aspect for a man to know, well, can I go into deeper levels of love with her? Am I even going to allow myself to move into deeper levels of commitment with her? Number 1, it has to be how he feels around you. And so you can observe this in the person that you're with. Is he upset all the time? Is he angry? Is he touchy-feely? Is he happy around you most of the time? Is he looking forward to seeing you again? You can see in the way that men show up with you how they feel around you. Sometimes as women, we have this idea that we can perform, or we can show a man that I can just like display to him how amazing I am. And we've all fallen into this trap, including myself, where it's like we want to prove to a guy how great we are, or how loyal we are, how smart we are, how funny we are. We unconsciously try to get a man's approval. This stems, of course, from childhood, where we're trying to get the validation from our caregivers. And for women, it'll be the most important person that we're looking for validation from is our father. For some of you, it could be your mother. That's a whole other conversation. We're not getting that level of validation that we so deeply desired from our father. And so it translates into our adult relationships where we're looking for a man to validate us. The feminine wants to be seen. However, with men, when we are performing and we are seeking this validation, this is where awareness is so important, because we might not even know that we're seeking this validation. I want you to just like pause for a second and take a look into your own life and ask yourself, am I looking for validation when I'm getting upset and my partner's not giving me some sort of attention? Unconsciously, it could be that we're looking for something from him and we don't recognize it, which is why we get upset when we're not getting it. If we're not looking for it and a man is not giving us the attention, we're not going to be upset. We may give him the benefit of the doubt and think, okay, he's busy, he just didn't hear me, etc. When we have this like constant need, it's coming from this deep wound within, and it's coming from this place where we're never really filled up. And even if he does give us the attention, we might think that, well, it's not enough. I want you to take a moment and reflect in your life, and commenting when you're watching the video is integrating in your body what you're learning, and share in the comments if it feels comfortable for you. When was the last time you were seeking attention from a man, or you were performing unconsciously without knowing it? Because this in and of itself is so huge. Men don't respond to that because it feels to a man, when we're looking for this type of validation or we're wanting him to see us, it doesn't feel good because it feels like pressure. Everything is energy. And so even if internally you think that you are masking how you're actually feeling and it's subtle, low key, so you're not being very dramatic in your request or your bid for attention, it doesn't matter, because if the energy within is insecurity, then it's going to translate into that, and he's going to feel it, and it's going to feel like pressure. So he's not going to feel good in that moment because it's going to feel like he has to constantly like validate you, or you're going to get upset. A man wants to know in his body, and this happens unconsciously. He's not sitting there going, how do I feel in my body? However, masculine energy men, they're integrated in their feminine. That means that they're balanced. They have a healthy amount of feminine energy and a healthy amount of masculine energy. The feminine energy in a man is his intuition. It's his spidey sense. He's going to sense when he's with you internally, and this is unconscious as well. It's not something that he's aware of. And for men that watch my videos, they validate that, yes, this is what I'm actually feeling, and I just can't put it into words. They sense when they're with a woman, how do I feel around her? Do I feel calm? Do I feel happy? Do I feel peace? These are emotions that a man really needs to feel. Do I feel happy? Do I feel good about myself? Do I feel respected? Do I feel inspired by her? These are the feelings that a man wants to feel when he's with you, even if he can't put it into words, or he's going to sense in his body, I feel judged, disrespected, I feel controlled, manipulated, and I feel pressure. If a man is feeling those emotions, he's going to disconnect from you and he's going to start pulling away. Even if you're married, in relationships where there's children involved, a man won't necessarily leave the marriage and he won't physically leave, even though mentally he's checked out, because there's the child involved and he's worried about going to the court system, losing money, losing his child. So even if you're married and okay, he's physically there, yet you feel distance from him, it's often because he's not feeling the feelings that he needs to feel in order to want to create and develop that connection with you further. It's important to identify if there's been unsafety that has been created in the relationship, which is causing him to pull back. And once that is rectified, usually if it's gotten to a point of marriage, then attraction can be restored. It's really important to learn how to regulate your nervous system. And I teach you how to do this in my books and in my course. And also be in your feminine energy versus trying to do, because doing is the masculine energy. Doing and fixing and trying to get closer is always going to push him away. It's going to make him feel like pressure, because remember, it's his job to move toward you. And so if you're performing, because performing is a man's job, it's not the woman's job. If you're performing, he can't step into that role. He's naturally going to be in his feminine. And therefore, it's also going to feel bad for him. And so it's really important for you to regulate your nervous system and really learn to be with yourself. In Secrets of the Feminine Woman, I talk about the inner girl and how to regulate her. In my course, there's a module on how to effectively self-soothe and how to integrate these core beliefs so that you can move into your healthy feminine. Your presence, your softness, and self-respect is what is going to create that good feeling in him. But less about performing and more about the energy that you're holding when you're with him. That's the main thing that I want you to think about when you're with him. Am I performing? Am I relaxed? How am I feeling? And that's going to be dependent on your ability to regulate your nervous system and stay soft in your feminine energy. Truth number 2 is that if a man is emotionally unavailable, no amount of performing can get him to be emotionally available. You can't perform your way into being chosen. A man either chooses you or he doesn't choose you. A man is either available and emotional and open with you or he's not. There are factors that play into whether a man can remain open, because initially when he meets a woman, he's going to be open. He's going to be interested in the woman. However, at some point he may pull away. So it could be because of number 1 and the way that we're making him feel unconsciously. We don't realize that maybe we're doing things that is pushing him away. And if that's the case, then that's something that can be rectified. However, initially, if a man is not interested in you, you can't do anything to make a man interested in you. This is why I always say it is a man's job to pursue you. It's not your job to pursue. And if a man sees you and he's interested in you, so step 1, he's attracted to you physically, he's going to figure out how to take it to the next level to talk to you. No man is that shy that he doesn't have the courage to come and speak to a woman that he's really attracted to. You can't perform or do anything outside of being yourself to make a guy choose you. And any sort of performance, trying to be the cool girl, trying to be chill, being nice, is not going to make him emotionally available. It's going to make him further disconnect from you, because I want you to think about emotional availability for a second. When you're available emotionally to yourself, when you have this deep relationship with yourself, you naturally show up in an open, vibrant, feminine way with men, which allows them to drop their guard. And it just happens organically where you have this relationship with a man that both of you are open and emotionally available. It stems from the woman. It doesn't stem from the man. Any sort of emotional connection in a relationship is the domain of the feminine, not of the masculine. And so if we don't know how to be connected with ourselves, If we lack self-awareness and we don't know what our triggers are, we don't know what makes us feel good, what doesn't make us feel good, we don't know how to make ourselves happy, then how can we expect a man is going to know how to handle all these different emotions that we go through? That all stems from us, and then a man is able to mirror that back. Any sort of trying to get a man to open up, trying to get a man to commit, being his therapist, being his coach, being his mama, anything like that, over functioning, performing, chasing, is all coming from a disconnection within self. And then that is why we're behaving in these egoic ways to get a man to open up. And it's not going to work because, again, men know right away, okay, this is the woman for me or this isn't the woman for me. And they feel it in a gut level, but then the way we show up further solidifies that for a man. Let's say we've not done anything, we've not pursued him, we've not done anything, and he's not moving toward us. No amount of trying to get a guy to move toward us is going to make him do that. So the feminine shift is to stop auditioning and let his level of readiness and effort reveal itself to you. Let him come to you, let him reveal himself to you, and allow him to take things to the next level, whatever stage of relationship you are, without you trying to perform or audition for his love. You just work on being emotionally available to yourself and let him figure out the rest. Truth number 3 is so massive and so important, and that's his effort and his doing, and the amount of work he's putting into the relationship, which is the investment, tells the whole story, not his words. A man is going to say certain things to you, maybe in the beginning of the relationship, if he's trying to be intimate with you. However, this is why it's so important not to be intimate with men until much later, because you want a man to show you through his actions how he actually feels about you. It doesn't matter what is going on in a man's life. When he meets a woman that he perceives is the one and is different from all the rest, he's going to do whatever he has to do to show it to you that he's serious. Because again, a man is not going to want to lose you. If you're a quality woman in his eyes and you are this amazing woman that he's inspired by, feels good with, etc., you're not vying for his attention, you have emotional intimacy with yourself, therefore you have this great connection with him, he's going to know that you're special, and he's going to do whatever he can to make it known to you that you're important to him, and he's going to show you with his action and his effort. He's going to invest in you. He's going to take you on dates. He's going to do whatever he can to prove to you that he is interested in you. When he talks about not being able to text you back, not setting up dates, these are all excuses. It doesn't matter how busy a man is, because if you're his dream woman, he's going to figure it out to make sure that he gets to spend time with you, being with a woman that he's deeply attracted by. He's going to want more and more and more of her. So his excuses don't mean much, and take it to mean that maybe he's just not interested in me. Don't take it so personally, because you're just going to waste your time when you can actually meet someone that will see you the way that you should be seen. His consistent behavior is so important to look at. That does he show up for you? Is he consistent in his action? Does he mean what he's saying? And does he follow up on everything that he's saying? Does he move things forward? Masculine energy shows up in action, effort, and responsibility. If you don't see these 3 things in a man, and if you don't see him doing that in your relationship and it's naturally not progressing, he just may not be into you in the way that you would want him to be. That's something to keep in mind so that you don't waste years and years and years of your life trying to get this guy to step up. The feminine move here is to believe what his actions say and not waste any more of your time trying to pretzel yourself into being what a man wants. Instead, take care of yourself and remove yourself from the situation so you can not waste any more of your time. Sometimes a man will not tell you the truth about how he really feels, and he'll demonstrate it in his actions. So he'll pull away and you'll notice that he's not showing up the way that he used to. And oftentimes the reason for that is because a man doesn't want to hurt your feelings. He might not even directly break up with you or tell you what the issue is because he doesn't want to hurt you. Men generally are not looking to intentionally hurt a woman that they like, even care for. That doesn't feel good to a man. And most men are not confrontational. And so they really try to avoid the messy truth, but their actions will tell you everything. A man is going to show up in terms of the way he feels about you in his action. So you'll see it because he can't hide his behavior. It's subconscious. It's just an innate pull towards you or pull away from you. This is why it's really important to just observe his actions and don't pay attention to what he's saying. If he's saying, oh, I really care about you, but he's not showing up in actions, that alone will show you everything. Truth number 4 is overgiving does not make a man stay. In fact, it makes him relax way too much Here's the thing. There can only be one masculine and one feminine in a dynamic for there to be attraction and polarity. If you're overgiving and you're doing everything, you're exhausting yourself, you're feeling resentment and you hate your life, and you think that he is just supposed to automatically know what to do or he's going to take care of things, he's not, because men operate and function from efficiency. And so if someone is taking care of everything, he's going to take a step back and he's going to relax. And the more you nag him, the less he's going to do it. And so you really want to do things from a place of this gives me energy and I want to do this, not from a place of I'm trying to just do everything and manage everything in the household because I want to be this perfect wife or this perfect girlfriend or this perfect fiance. Because when you do that, you're going to get less from him and you're going to end up being miserable. You're going to be miserable. And the more miserable you are, the less a man is going to do the things that you would want him to do, which is another selfish thing about men, where a man really only functions with how he feels around you. And so if you're miserable because you're over functioning, it's not like he's going to magically help you. He's going to naturally, innately pull away. It's not something he's doing consciously. It's just people don't want to be around people that don't feel good or are miserable. And so you over giving, because we're doing it from a place of, well, I just want to get things done. I want to help my partner. And women have a lot of empathy and we can do a lot. We can do way more than men. We're coming from the right place. However, what ends up happening is oftentimes we are subconsciously doing it because we're looking for some sort of approval and we don't feel good enough. We're looking for that validation again. And how you know this is if we don't get the response back that we're looking for or any sort of validation for our efforts, we get resentful. If we're getting resentful, it means that we're doing too much. And one person in the dynamic is going to have to take a step back. And usually when a woman is over functioning, a man is going to do less. It actually ends up deactivating a man's desire to do more and to be the leader. Men naturally have a desire to lead and to take that role and to get things done. They want to do that. However, when a woman is over functioning in a relationship, that desire starts to dim. And so it's like we're inactivating his masculine energy. Here's the feminine shift that I want you to make. Don't give from a place of fear. Sometimes that's what we're doing. Again, go back to the awareness point. Am I doing this because I feel fear, I want validation, or am I doing it genuinely because I'm giving from an overflow? This is why it's important to really take care of yourself. When you feel rested and you feel good and you feel happy, you're naturally going to be in a giving spirit. Give from that overflow, not from fear, and match his effort. Don't sprint ahead of his investment. That means that if a man is only doing so much, match that. You don't need to overgive or be ahead of him. In fact, that's going to create resentment as well. Match and mirror a man's investment towards you. And don't overgive because it's going to mess up the dynamic and it's going to make you feel bad in the relationship and it's going to make it difficult for you to be in your feminine energy if you're giving more than what he's doing. It sends the subconscious message to a man when you're overgiving that she's already there, she's already into me. So I don't need to rise to make her like me more. I don't need to invest more. I don't need to do anything because I have her. This is why it's important to always be one step behind a man so that he's the one that is constantly proving to you that he's interested in you. Even into marriage, you always want to make sure that a man is doing a little bit more than you are because you want to remain in your feminine energy. That doesn't mean you don't help out, but what a man is really looking for is a happy woman. And so if you're doing things from this miserable place, okay, great. You've cooked, you've cleaned, you've done the laundry, you've done everything, but you're miserable. And a man doesn't need that because he doesn't need another mother. He can take care of himself. He primarily wants a woman that is taking care of herself. One more point I want to make about this is overdoing can look like doing things that are wifey when you're a girlfriend. If you're a girlfriend, you should not be cooking for him. You should not be doing laundry for him. You should not be checking up on him. Those are wife duties and roles. So you don't want to do any of that if you're a girlfriend. I wouldn't even do any of that if I was a fiance. You want to, again, understand where you are in the commitment process and only do actions that are appropriate for that stage of a relationship. You also don't want to be the one that plans everything and like drops everything in your life at the drop of a hat for a man. You don't want to be his therapist and his emotional crutch. You don't want to do that even into marriage. However, you definitely don't want to do that initially because that's going to dim the attraction and it's going to make him relax again and not step up and not be there for you. Because again, you're taking that role. Truth number 5, and this is, I think, the most profound truth ever, is that men are so inherently selfish. And this is not a bad thing about them. This is something that we as women need to learn to adopt for ourselves. Men are always going to take care of themselves first. Like no matter what, men always function unconsciously with this predisposition to be selfish. They are always going to take care of themselves. They always move towards what feels good to them. They naturally move away from things that don't feel good for them. And they take care of themselves. They put themselves first. We think as women, like, that's so selfish, because as women, we have to like learn to prioritize ourselves, because we've seen our mothers completely overgive to men, and we've not seen that modeled in a healthy way. This is one of the things that I also really love about my husband, that he's so good at prioritizing himself. It doesn't mean that he won't prioritize other things in his life. However, when it comes to taking care of his sleep, his body, going to the gym, that's a top priority for him, and he won't let anything come between that. And that's not a bad thing. In fact, as women, we need to learn to prioritize ourselves and love ourselves to that degree and that extent. Because again, if you're with a healthy partner is going to want that. A healthy partner is going to want to be with a man that prioritizes himself over you, that's going to go to the gym, that's going to take care of their sleep, that's going to take care of themselves. It's an attractive trait. In the same way, man wants to see a woman that prioritizes her sleep, prioritizes what is good for her in terms of her well-being. And oftentimes, as I said before, women, we don't do that. We prioritize a man, we prioritize the household, we prioritize the kids. And then what happens? We end up being resentful and angry, and we're just miserable. And so this is something that is so important about men, and that I love about men, and that we can learn from the masculine, is to always remember to take care of yourself and to prioritize yourself, and to remember that it is not selfish to love yourself, and it is not selfish to put yourself first. And again, men are always going to do what's convenient for them, what fits their life. They always move towards what feels good. They don't stick around in situations unless, of course, there are other factors involved. But they don't necessarily stick around in situations that don't feel good to them unless there's like a tie there and they have no choice. But even in those situations, oftentimes it's coming from a selfish reason. If a man is staying with a woman and they're married and it doesn't feel good, but he has kids with her, he's going to selfishly stay because he's thinking about, let's say, the kids or his financial obligations to the woman later on. It's not necessarily coming from any other place. It's this selfish sense of, I'm going to take care of myself, and what's most important for a man, providing for his children and financial security, are of the utmost to the masculine. So he's always going to come from this base of choosing him versus choosing anything else in his life. I think that's really interesting and fascinating to look at with men, and something that we as women should learn from. Instead of asking, why is he so selfish? I want you to reframe this and ask yourself, where can I be a little bit more selfish in my own life, my own time, my heart, and in my energy? That means that, am I picking up the phone for that friend that is constantly draining my energy? Am I overgiving in my relationships? Pick an area and write it in your comments where you feel like, I am constantly drained in this one area and I need to be selfish. Being selfish is empowering. It's having standards and boundaries, and it's really learning to take care of yourself in a deep, deep, deep way. I want you to think of selfishness in a sacred way and in a self-loving, self-honoring way. As women, we need more of that sacred, self-honoring selfishness, that I really love myself and I'm going to honor my energy. My energy is the only thing that I have for myself in my life that is like so unique to me. And so I'm going to prioritize my energy, and I'm going to do whatever I have to do to make sure that my energy is feeling at its optimal, because that is when I feel the best. And that is so important. And I want you to think about the ways in your life, where are you giving your energy away? And where can you be a little bit more selfish in your own life so that you can honor yourself a little bit more and take care of yourself a little bit more? So yes, men are selfish. And the freedom is in the realization that you can also be a little bit more selfish and take care of yourself in a more loving, empowering way, so that you can save yourself years of heartbreak. Because if you are constantly the one that is giving to everybody and you're not receiving that back, you're going to be in this cycle of draining relationships, and that's not what you want. I give you the permission to let go of those friendships and those relationships where you are the one that is making the constant effort. Like, just drop the ball and see what happens. When they move towards you, you're going to know that it's coming from a more reciprocal place. Take care of yourself, honor yourself, have boundaries, and understand that men and people in your life that truly care about you from the right place are never going to diminish you because you have boundaries and standards and you need time for yourself. People that are genuinely there for you for the right reason are never going to be upset with you because you're honoring your own needs. Truth number 6 is mixed signals or already a clear signal. Many of you say to me, Fareen, I'm so confused. If you are confused, this man is not interested in you in the way that you desire him to be, because a man that is truly interested in you is not going to leave you confused. There's not going to be any sort of mixed signals. Any sort of confusion as a result of a mixed signal is a man that's not truly interested in you. And if you can get this really in your body and take the ego out of it, don't take it personally, just accept that, you know what? This guy probably doesn't like me. This guy maybe is not into me in the way that I would want. He's a great guy. I'm a great woman, but I deserve more, and walk away. You're going to save yourself so much heartache. You waste so much time trying to interpret a man's mixed signal. A man is very clear. When a man likes you, he asks you out. If he is interested in you, when you guys are going on dates, he's going to take it further. He's going to ask to be committed to you. When you're in a committed relationship and girlfriend, boyfriend, and that's going well and he's happy, he's going to move it to the next level and the next level. Men are really simple. And if there's any sort of confusion in any of those stages, he's not feeling it and something is missing for him, and he may keep you around, maybe for selfish reasons. Again, maybe you're there, it's convenient, he has access to other parts of you that he enjoys. But if you want a deeper connection and he's not able to move forward in those ways and you're confused, well, he might not be in it for the right reason, and he might not be feeling it in the way that you are. Meaning, let's say you want marriage and this guy just comes around for a booty call, or you've been in a relationship for so long and he's not taking it to the next level. Well, I just want you guys to know that there are no mixed signals when it comes to a man that's really into you, and he's going to move it forward. He's going to propose. He's going to want to live with you. He's going to want to do all that. There's clarity in dating and relationships when a man is interested in you. Choose men that you know clearly choose you, and that you see, again, in a demonstration in their actions, that they're consistently moving things forward, and that there is no mixed signals. I don't even believe in mixed signals. Either a man is moving towards you or he's not. There's no in between. Either he's setting up dates or he's not. Most men that are healthy in their dynamics function in the way that I do. They're very old school. They see a girl, they like the girl, they move toward the girl. That's it. It's very clear. There's no mixed signals. When a man is unhealthy, there's mixed signals. Because when a man is healthy, but he's not truly into you, and he notices that you're ahead of him and he doesn't see that with you, he's going to be clear in his communication and tell you that he's not where you are. And so it's really important, if a man is giving mixed signals, that maybe he's not the right person for you. Maybe he's not in his healthy energy. But that's also an invitation for you to look within yourself, to ask yourself, why am I dissecting this guy's behavior? Like, if I'm confused, maybe he's just not into me. And last but not least, truth number 7, if you make a man your emotional home, you are going to lose yourself, and you're going to lose all of your power in a relationship. You can never, ever, ever depend on a man to validate you, soothe you, and be your emotional home. You need to be your own emotional home. You need to learn how to reparent your inner child. You need to learn to be your best friend, your parent, your mother, your father, for yourself. You need to really learn how to do this. A man is never going to be able to take care of you in that way, in an emotional, deep way, in the way that you are going to be able to take care of yourself. In fact, nobody is. No one can show up for you in a manner that is inconsistent with the way that you show up for yourself. If you're not able to be there for yourself and love yourself, you're never going to have a reflection that is going to be able to give you that which you cannot give yourself. It is so important to learn how to be independent in terms of knowing how to be with yourself. And really, this is why inner work is the most important work you will ever do in your life, because the more you invest in yourself, the more you put into yourself, you're going to reap rewards. You're going to see that in your external environment. You're going to be able to operate from a place of trust, faith. This is all the feminine. And the world, so men, are going to be able to mirror that too. Same with the universe as masculine energy. They're going to be able to mirror that for you. But if you consistently are looking for a man to give you this validation and connection that you desperately are looking for within yourself, your inner child is looking for within you, you're going to constantly have the feeling of it's never enough, it's never enough, it's never enough, because no one can give that to you in the way that you can give it to yourself. You're going to start abandoning yourself when you give your power away as well. And you're moving into self-betrayal and self-abandonment. And so again, if a man is a reflection, he's only going to be able to give you what you give yourself. It's also going to feel very pressuring to a man. And back to number 1, it's not going to make a man feel good. It's not going to feel like a magnetic pull towards you. In fact, he's going to naturally pull away, because whenever we feel that someone wants something from us or needs something from us, more than what we're capable of giving, it ends up feeling like pressure. It doesn't feel magnetic. In fact, what feels magnetic is a person that desires connection, desires being with you, but doesn't need it. It's coming from that place where that person is filled up and they feel content with themselves and they don't need anything in their external environment to make them feel good. Here's a feminine energy truth. You are your own emotional home. A relationship is a beautiful add-on, but a relationship is not your entire world and should never be your entire world. The more anchored you are in who you are and in yourself, the more awareness you gain, the more knowledge you gain, and the more you move into embodiment, the more you're going to feel safe with yourself, and therefore you're never going to chase men. I teach you how to do this in my deeper work, which is my course and my books. You have to do the inner work. Like, there is no bypassing the inner work to get the type of relationship that you want in your external environment. If some of these truths felt harsh, I want you just to take a breath. It doesn't mean that you've done everything wrong. It just means that we're not taught this information and you've been doing the best that you can with the information that you had. So this knowledge is going to give you new insights and new awareness. And therefore, when you know more, and you know different, you can do different. I want to hear from you. Comment below. Tell me which truth hit you the hardest. What are you going to do differently moving forward? I want you to integrate the knowledge that you're learning from me. You just need to pick one or two truths that landed with you and decide for yourself, what am I going to do differently? And if you're ready to go deeper into healing the patterns that keep you from attracting the love that you desire, my self-paced course, the Feminine Woman Shadow Edition, is the perfect step-by-step guide to help you in your journey with the inner work. And I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.